Everybody, they call me the governor, and welcome to our Walking Dead Reactors panel, which is brought to you by Fandom, Spotlite, and Wizard World. So we got some people here that want to talk about The Walking Dead, and let's start with having them introduce themselves. I'm obviously the governor, and we have Sarah, a.k.a. Mama Deadhead. Tell people who you are, Sarah.
Hey guys, I am a reactor for The Walking Dead and pretty much everything under it. And I also write for Undead Walking and Cultress, and massive Stillwater fan, massive Skybound fan, and massive Princess fan.
All right, that makes sense, though. She kind of took a blow to the head last week. Jazz, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jazz. I work at Wizard World doing social media, and I guess I should say I'm a massive Carol fan.
All right, a Carol fan. She's definitely been a badass. And Mashang, please.
Hi, my name is Mashawn. I am also a fellow reactor here of The Walking Dead on YouTube. My YouTube channel name is just Mashond, M-A-C-H-O-N-D. And out of my top 5 Walking Dead characters, Daryl is still alive and he's still here. So I still got a lot to watch for.
All right. And as the governor, I'm not very fond of Daryl. And Carol's okay. I never had to deal with her. In fact, she's lucky that I was aiming a little bit to the right and shot Axel in the head and not her. Actually, I think that was plot armor. And then, as far as Princess, she's a trip. But, she has some issues. So I really hope there's some therapists left after this Armageddon. But let's talk about this last episode, which was Diverged. Two Walking Dead cast members are in the woods and they go their separate ways. And what was your impression of, let's start with the awkwardness at the beginning and then separating. Jazz, what was your thoughts on the episode and Dog's betrayal of Daryl?
I actually really enjoyed that because I feel like Dog, all animals really kind of, they can feel how certain people feel. And I think Dog knew that Carol needed his company more than Daryl did. And I was like, yeah, Dog, go with Carol. I thought that was great. And then Carol's reaction was just hilarious.
I agree. Sean?
I love this episode. Carol and Daryl are two of my all-time favorite characters. And we really got to see Carol pretty much pick up the pieces of her life because she absolutely positively did not intend on living after the Whisper War. She was going to kill herself. So now she's just like, well, I'm here. Might as well keep myself busy. So it was great.
Yep, with an extreme garage makeover. Mama, your thoughts?
I liked Dog and Jerry. I was really happy to see Jerry again after all this time.
Jerry was acting like a douche, man. That was
Jerry?
Yeah, it's a Carol, definitely.
Well, I mean, she did try and fake a conversation, fake nice. So I'm not sure how else he's supposed to respond to it.
Am I the only person that was completely confused by the awkwardness? Because Jerry and Carol have never been awkward. But after the Whisper War, she was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go work on this. And he just looked at her like, and I was like, wait, she can't talk to him? What happened? Did I miss something? They're not on speaking terms? But at the end, when she told him, she was like, yeah, I'm not having a good day. I'm trying to get my life together. I was like, okay, I guess. So did we miss something?
I think he could just, Jerry's a really good judge of character. And honestly, I thought whenever she came in, Daryl wasn't there. And she had this whole story about this piece of fabric, basically. He was kind of like, are we going to address the elephant in the room? Or you want to talk about it, but also doesn't want to pry because it's Jerry. And he's not just what's going on? I don't think he's really ever been that type of guy.
Well, I mean,
he probably was awkward.
Because she was asking, at least the way I got it, she was asking what can she do to help out? And he was like, oh, well, this has been done. Oh, this person's on this. So he seemed a little cold towards her. So
well, Carol did kind of decide to run off while everyone else was helping and, ran off with Daryl to go hunt. As far as Daryl had said in the previous, episode featuring them two, you ran away, you constantly run away. This coming on this trip was running away. So she came back and it's now she wants to help. Okay, well, we already took care of this shit and that shit and, the other shit. And he was so And then he's trying to work, and she's telling him this story about stone soup. I'm like, what the hell is that? You know, are you that lonely? Trell H says Jerry was weird. Renee said Daryl knew something was up. I guess when he came back. Trell also is a big Carol fan. Deborah says, Elmer says, dogs loves the ladies. Jerry and Dog were her faves this episode. And I have to say, Jerry and Dog were my faves this episode. They seem to have their heads on straight. And Jerry, his wisdom at the end, Carol a hug.
Yeah.
That was ultimate Jerry.
Yes, there hasn't been enough hugging lately.
But really, I felt like I was watching Tom and Jerry because she was chasing this friggin' rat and trying to,
put the rat in the soup at some point. I was just expecting
That's what I expected too.
The rat. You gotta get your protein somehow, man, in the apocalypse.
I remember Demolition Man. Demolition Man, they go into the underground and he gets a burger and they're like, ask her what kind of meat that is. What kind of meat is this? Rata. Oh, it's rat. Okay. And he eats it anyway. So that's Sylvester Stallone.
When she set out to make the soup, I knew it wasn't going to be any problem for her. I was like, we haven't seen Carol cook in a while. Yes, I get to watch my auntie in the kitchen. She went out foraging. Oh, it was great. I really liked it. I didn't like the fact that she killed walkers and didn't wash her hands.
Yeah. There was blood all over the bucket too. I was like,
literally, she wiped her hands on the grass and then stuck her bloody hand. Who picks up a bucket with their hand on the inside? You could have just picked it up from the bottom. Yeah, disgusting. But
I thought that was very unsanitary. But I thought we were through with her culinary skills after the applesauce cookies. That was good enough for me.
In beets and water chestnuts.
Be making soup.
In those cookies.
Yeah. I just felt like she was lost, and I understand them having this awkwardness between Daryl and Carol, which I don't know how they're going to resolve that for season 11 since everything's supposed to be status quo by then. But I actually had an idea, and Sarah, I think you might have seen it in my video. A better story would have been if they had found some lone whisperer who was hiding in the woods who had survived the battles, and they basically are fighting over what to do. And Carol's like, well, we kill this, whisperer. They're a whisperer. And Daryl's like, well, maybe they got food hidden because, the whisperers bringing through this horde would have planned in advance. So maybe they got some food somewhere we can get. And there would have been a whole big fight and, more sparks would have flown. I thought that would have been a better story, but
I think that it would have been good if they did their own separate thing, because I understand that they do need a minute to breathe, but maybe there is something like an outside threat, but something outside of the situation entirely. So it's not personal to Carol, it's not personal to him, and they can actually reunite on something or on some common ground, and just maybe explore that a little bit more, because I feel like I didn't exactly need this episode, because I know that Daryl is struggling. I know that Carol is struggling, and it just kind of reinforced a fact that I knew, and I would have rather seen them resolve it versus wait on it. I understand that not all of these can add to the plot in some profound way, each one can lead to some huge thing in season 11, but I mean, this relationship is an important one in the show. So I just feel like they could have just done something a little bit more.
I honestly was hoping that they would have found Connie in the woods.
Yeah.
And I would have screamed. They were just
waiting for that moment where Connie comes back, and I've been disappointed twice, Snaps. I thought it was going to happen already.
Well, she's with Vernon or that guy, right?
Virgil.
Virgil. But I mean, we need the reunion with Carol and Daryl and Connie.
I think that I said this in my reaction. I was really hoping that when Daryl was out there looking, that he would find her hair, some blood on a tree, and oh my gosh, she's this way, and I don't know, something. But I was just hoping, because she did slam up against that tree, and I was like, maybe, no.
Yeah.
Back to Jerry for a moment. Deborah Ulmer says someone on Twitter said Jerry's like the child between parents after a divorce with King Ezekiel and Carol going their separate ways. He's like, I loved you both, but this is awkward. What do I do?
I hate it when mom and dad fight.
Right? So awkward. I never thought I'd see Jerry. Very awkward.
Poor Jerry.
Can we just be happy that Jerry still has his wife and all of his kids? Can we please just take a moment?
Yes.
Well, I
wish we could have seen them. Awesome. That would have just made me sad.
Very rare occurrence in the apocalypse.
I know he has.
We saw his wife. We saw his wife in the first episode, I believe.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw his kids was when the kids were separated and they found Ezekiel and they had to go find the kids and Earl tried
my gosh.
Oh yeah,
he made me she just hit me somewhere in my mom heart when she was like, where are my babies? And I just cried immediately. Girl. I was like, oh, I felt that deep in my soul somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Girl. Carl was the most worrisome child out of all.
Yep, he never stayed in the house.
He would never be still. Lori, she did her best. I don't even like Lori, but she was a good mama.
I don't know. Lori, I don't know. She lost track of Carl so many friggin' times.
No, Carl would sneak away.
Carl.
Carl would sneak away. She made sure that baby still knew how to read, write, kept up with him best she could, but Carl was going to be grown regardless. As soon as the apocalypse hit, Carl was grown, doing what he wanted to do. So stay with Dale. I'll be right back. All right.
Bye.
Dale turns his back for an instant. And of course, Carl just decides to go psycho killer for a little while. I was kind of proud, but because my kind of peeps. But then he reformed and became a peacemaker. So I don't know about that. Renee,
I don't like that so much.
Renee said acorns and beets cookies. They're actually pretty good. I don't know if anyone has. I stick with Oreo. Oreo is pretty good. So.
I can imagine acorns. I can imagine the acorns and the beets being good, but I don't know what she used for a sweetener. That's what I've always wondered. Like
applesauce.
Probably.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah, she did have applesauce. They had apple trees. Do you think the Whisperers fucked up the apple trees too?
Probably. They screwed with everything.
Probably.
Wow. That's sad. At least Maggie's back. She can help us get everything back together better than everybody else could.
And at least Aaron doesn't have to eat any more applesauce ever because he hates it.
I hate applesauce. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. Mealy apples, give them to me fresh or I don't want them. I can't. It's the texture. I can't. I felt him. When Rick made him eat it, I felt that. Yeah, it was great.
So please don't make me eat this. Mm-hmm. You're gonna eat the applesauce now.
Also, I don't know why I just thought about me drinking my water. Just made me think about this. When Daryl gave the water to dog instead of him drinking it, can we talk about how much he loved his dog, please?
Yes, to give to his dog.
That was really sweet. Yep. Yeah, that was really sweet.
As soon as Carol walked in the house, she filled him up a bowl of water. I was like, I love this dog.
Actually, as soon as she walked into the house, she's like, smells like Daryl. And I'm like, well, air that shit out. Come on. Woof.
I laughed. I laughed because I'm like, what exactly does Daryl smell like? Dirt, trees? It smell like outside. He probably just smell like outside.
Well, imagine probably like oil and grease too, because he works on his motorcycle.
Yep.
I forgot. That smell lingers. I'm good.
I didn't know. Somebody said this on the comments in the comments when I went live right after the episode. That was the knife he got from Leah. Is that true? Somebody said.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Yeah. I knew it was some significance to it. The way they showed it, I just assumed it was a pocket knife that he had forever, and he just gave it to her and let her have it. I did not know that was Leah's. I didn't know that at all.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that either.
That was a great touch to the episode. Somebody was like, it just represents him letting go.
Well, now he's got friggin' multi-tools from the friggin' military. So,
two of them.
Yeah.
Were those Reapers? Were those like extra Reapers that were hidden in the woods? But he got
they look like just regular soldiers. because I don't know that the Reapers are still running around with MREs.
I mean, they could be.
I hope those MREs last long.
No, like the fact that we know that they have a spinoff coming kind of ruined that for me. Like it could have been like, oh God, this is how Daryl's going to finally go. But no, because we know the spinoff's coming. So
yeah,
we know
Daryl was under that car. I was like, somebody's gonna walk up and grab his legs and pull him from under the car. Like, this is the Walking Dead trauma I had.
I would have loved to see that.
We can have no peace. I was shocked that they had no other human encounters while they were out. I just knew somebody was gonna grab Daryl by his legs and pull him up from under that car. I was like, I'm scared. But yeah, nothing happened.
And it would be the triplet of Maze and his brother, and there'd be a third one.
yeah.
Was that Robert Patrick playing himself playing twice?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Oh yeah, he's great.
Renee says, did y'all see Ross's impression of Negan regarding applesauce? I missed that one.
Oh wait, applesauce? No, I haven't seen that one.
Ross is the impression.
We'll have to check that out. Yeah,
Yes.
Ross is when we first interviewed him years ago, I had no idea he was so good at impressions. And his thoughts all, it's like, never tell me the odds. He's just really good.
He's wonderful.
Phyllis 2284 says, what's that?
Go ahead. I said go ahead. I can tell that story later.
Phyllis 2284 says Norman Reedus said that Daryl smells like Jack Daniels, oil, and gasoline.
That sounds about right. And
Yeah,
Where's he getting the Jack from? I don't know where he's getting Jack from.
The other stash where Maze had other liquor, probably. I don't know.
True. When is the last time Daryl got drunk, honestly? Because I don't think he got drunk during the apocalypse one time, because he likes to very much be aware and in tune.
I don't know.
I don't know that he drinks.
I don't think he ever, because I remember the whole peach schnapps episode with Beth, and I don't think he got drunk that night either.
Yeah, I know he did it maybe a couple of times when they were younger, about like one of the stories Merle told about when they were at that kid's house and he pulled a gun on him. I don't know if Daryl was drinking, but I think he might have been. We have not seen him drink not one time throughout the entire apocalypse. So he would have not been in that situation with Gabriel and Aaron.
Well, finding booze is not easy, but when you do, you find like $2,000 bottles.
$2,000 worth.
Right? What was Maze holding on? What was he saving it for? A special occasion?
He was saving it for the Easter egg because it was Dwayne Jones whiskey. That's why he was saving it. So we could see it.
Which I didn't catch until somebody told me that. I did not catch that at all. $2,000 for some whiskey.
I can't imagine.
$2,000 for some whiskey.
If they hadn't found his whiskey, I think if they hadn't found his whiskey and he did the Russian roulette thing, he was probably planning on, I found some nice people, I'm going to break out this, this booze, but they already drank it.
I was wondering, did they have a real hangover, or were they just so scared their adrenaline was running? Because as soon as Gabriel straightened up, yes, blah, 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 blah. Gabriel was talking like he wasn't hammered.
Well,
not only person that thought
adrenaline does that to the system.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was curious. I was like, he's talking like they just didn't drink a whole bottle of whiskey last night. Yeah, I guess being scared will sober you up really quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Renee says he drank moonshine with Beth, but wasn't drunk. Of course, referring to Daryl. So I imagine it takes a bit to get him drunk.
Yeah, because he didn't get drunk, but he was drinking. Beth was off her ass, though. Bless her heart.
Well, she's so tiny.
She weighs like what? 90?
Remember when they did this, when they blew up that shack? Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
Good Daryl memories. I'm really curious to see how they transition.
House out up on flames. Yep.
I'm really curious to see how they transitions.
So, Mahjong and Jazz, you seem to have really liked this episode. I get the impression, Mama, that you did not like it.
No.
I was not thrilled with it. Again, I thought it was... if I was going to do a rewatch, I'd probably skip this one. Just because, it was, to me, a little dragged out.
It was nice. It was just nice to see two of my favorite characters do something other than fight for their lives. Like, it was... I was still scared because of all of my Walking Dead trauma. Like, I can't even enjoy any moment in peace at all. I can't. Like, Daryl by himself, somebody's gonna pull him from up under the car. Like, the rat's gonna bite. Like, just, I can't have any peace. And I was like, oh, it's so nice to see them not fight for their lives for 2 seconds. Thank you. I don't know when this is gonna happen again. Because the next episode is Here's Negan, then season 11, shit is gonna be hitting the fan again. So while everybody talking shit, y'all better relax now, because season 11 about to be a trip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the last season. They about to, I'm scared. Tears will be shed.
Yeah, some people, I don't know if these episodes are that good of an idea, because we have some people who are like, you know, have commented that they're swearing off the series because these episodes are not what they're expecting, and they're getting upset. And it's like, but season 11, I totally anticipate that that's going to be a roller coaster ride. That's going to move the plot forward because they have to rush to the end. You know, these, I understand, they're bonus episodes, they're character studies. I still think there could have been a more interesting story for this one than what they did.
I feel like that a lot of there's a disconnect. I'm sorry. I think that there's a disconnect when it comes to part of the fan base, because if you're not online and like actively engaging in like panels and all of that type of stuff, you might not know that like these weren't going to affect the plot in like a really profound way. They pretty much made that known from the start. Like, these were extra, you know, these are kind of just like a little treat to hold you over. And I see people coming on like Facebook, for example. Like, Twitter is like pretty active all the time, but Facebook people come on, they're like, what is this? Like, this season, like thinking it's an actual season itself, like thinking these 6 are being like, this season's the worst season I've seen. And I'm like, this is part of 10. These are okay.
What you said is 100% true. I see I'm like, okay, so y'all just watch Walking Dead. Y'all not really in the Walking Dead fandom, right? Because if you were, then you would know this. They've been filming this show for 10 fucking years. They had to completely change everything. They went to digital, like they did they had to change all of their processes. Like, if you watch the behind the scenes thing of how they had to change everything they did just to film this show, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I'm talking about zones and checkpoints, and people from certain groups don't even interact with each other. So if some people come into contact and they get sick, then we know these people aren't sick. They went from like 7 hand sanitizer stations to over like 75. Like, there's checkpoints.
And they got their shields and everything.
Jeffrey's living in the house that Rick lived in Alexandria. Paola, Princess, is next door. Like,
and they all have like little GPS things on them for if they get too close to somebody, they'll set off.
Yeah, let them have these 6 episodes. Shut up. Let us have them, please.
Well, what I like is that when people complain when I see comments about how, you know, the shows, they stopped watching after Carl left or Rick left.
Oh my God.
Why are you still commenting here?
Exactly.
Why are you still here?
You know how many years ago that was? If you stop watching, why are you on here? They just posted this 10 minutes ago. Why are you on here? How did you see this? Like,
you have notifications on. Why?
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't watch it? Go away. There's the door.
Oh, I love the people who like comment on the reactions from Skybound, and they're like, what are these bunch of losers doing watching the show still, man? You know, it's like people still watch this.
Watching us.
My favorite comments are, oh my gosh, you're talking so much. Are you watching a reaction video or like?
Bitch, this is not an episode reload.
Okay.
It's not. So funny.
Well, I get the ones who are like, David Morrissey has gained some weight. I'm like, really? I'll have to get in touch with him and tell him he's gained some weight.
That is so funny. I always get the ones that are like, why are you talking so much? Why are you watching me? I'm not re-uploading the episode. Why are you watching me? I think it's funny. So yeah, the people who shit on walk, and it's like, if you really don't like it, why do you have to come shit on it? Like, really? Yeah. Because clearly it's one of the highest rated shows of all time. Just let us have this thing that we like. Please be nice.
I mean, like,
people can't do that.
Yeah, honestly, like, I'm not a big fan of Carol and Daryl, and I never really have been. But if I see people posting about like how much they love it, like how much they adore it.
Like me.
I just scroll by. Like why would I ruin that for anybody else? And I mean, complaining about like one episode, you can complain about an episode, that's cool. But if you're just like, oh, season 10 was the worst ever, awful bad, how can people watch this
Lies. Some of the greatest episodes came out of season 10. That Whisper episode, I will never get over it. I will never get over it. Alpha and Negan, all time top favorite villains. Those two, woo!
100%.
Man, I was just dreaming of those.
Yeah.
I was dreaming of those Negan and Beta interactions because I just love Beta so much and they're so different. It's like, yes, I'm just waiting for it. I think when he said Brownie McTwo-Knives for the first time, I just like lost it. My reaction.
Anytime I read something in the comics that I know I remember from the show, I'm like, they pulled this line straight from the comics. I scream every time. And I just hear Jeffrey saying it in my head. Every time. So good. Me just finishing The Whisperers not that long ago. So many Negan lines from the Whisperer era of the comics they put in the show. So good.
Yeah, Chatty McBatface has some good ones. Here's Deborah Ulmer says it was funny in the episode when Daryl was talking to Walker, like it understood him when he was under the car, and he's like, "Stop moving!" You know, that was like. Though it was right of him to like kick the car to near the front to drag that Walker back.
Can we please talk about how the Walkers never disappoint? Never, ever, never, ever, ever has Greg Nicotero and the team let us down. Never.
Thank God for that.
Did you see how they put the thing over their head? It's like the little spandex thing, but then they got the piece where they put like the. Instead of sitting like 4 or 5 hours in hair and makeup to be a walker, it's only 45 minutes now. Insane. Mm-hmm. You can't even tell the difference. Insane. They put like a piece here, put it all together, bam, you're a walker. It is insane.
Yeah, but I remember there was one episode way back with, and Carrie Payton was like getting away from walkers, and there was this one guy in the background just walking, strolling, wasn't in makeup, clearly not a beta, and he's just strolling there like pacing the whole thing and being totally ignored by everyone, and I'm like, that is fucking hilarious.
I need you to post that because I don't know what you're talking about. Please post that.
It was the episode where Jerry's axe broke, and
so was that season 10?
Yeah,
9.
No, I think it might have been
beginning of 10.
I'm gonna have to look it up, but or if someone knows,
somebody watch and help us out here,
please, because I don't.
Ms. Kayla.
It wasn't in
Ms.
some
Kayla
guy when he cut Jeffrey Dahmer in half, right? It wasn't then.
There was, it was when.
Was it that one?
It was the the guy who was walking in the background wasn't part of the episode. He was just a mistake walking along.
Yeah, but, I need to see it. Somebody please comment.
But yeah, it was the one where Jerry split him in half, and the guy was like gonna kill the king.
Oh, then that's some guy. That's 804.
80. Woo. Okay, I got to go back. See, I don't like to go back and watch season 8. It's depressing.
I just created my
people.
Mm-hmm. I just created my top 10 list, so I have like them I have those in my head.
People can be so rude to our lovely reactors, Miss Kayla says, and she says she loves watching Walking Dead reactors because I love seeing what they think about certain people and scenes. Well, usually if Michonne's there, you know what I think. She owes me a penny. She stabbed me in the back. And Rick. Yeah, I'm really upset he's still alive somewhere. But anyway, that's just the governor. That's just me. These people probably have different opinions. Marco says, yes, it was season 8, episode 4. Go back and watch it. There's like the king is trying to get away from a bunch of Bitas, and yet he smiles. And yeah, there's just this guy in the background just strolling. And it's like, keeping pace with everybody and watching what's going on. He's not in makeup at all.
Like, sir, you work
he's
here,
not
work
far
here,
enough
don't you?
back.
Why is the crew in here?
In days gone,
This
in
is a
days
close
gone
set. What
by,
is this guy doing here?
in days gone by, if you can look this one up, there is a walker in the back drinking a bottle of water, in one of the scenes where you turn the corner.
That's so
I love
funny.
those.
Yeah.
I love those.
That's so funny. I really like watching other reactors because so like I still talk to everybody who don't have the same favorite characters as me. It's like, if we were all the same, it wouldn't even be as fun. It's just like life. Why should everybody be the same?
Exactly.
Y'all know I'm gonna ride for Rick, Michonne, and Glenn and Daryl, top 4. Y'all know I'm gonna ride for them 4. I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna ride for them 4. They're always my top 4.
Miss Kayla says she loves your shirt, Mama Deadhead.
Oh, thank you.
Needs more Walking Dead merchandise.
I do too.
But go on. Yeah, I agree. I don't care who you love or who you don't love. There are people, do you believe it or not, they don't like the governor. Can you believe that?
I would have never guessed that in my life.
You know, he was a very complex villain. Very
He
complex.
was.
You kind of
Yes,
knew what he was going to do, but not at the same time. So he was a very complex villain. He was around long enough, though. He cut my granddaddy's head off, so.
I like watching other reactors too, because there are some, I mean, I talked to a lot of reactors too, and some are my friends that like share the same opinions, and I know that like when I watch their reactions, I'm gonna get like so hyped just as much as I was when I was watching the episode. But then I go and I seek out people that don't think the same as me on purpose, just so I can gain insight, because I watch your videos all the time. I watch both of you guys' videos all the time, and I pick up stuff that like I didn't on the first time, or like you guys might say something that like just adds insight to a situation. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about it that way because I'm thinking about it this way because maybe I'm on this side of things whenever.
Like earlier when we were talking about Jerry. So
yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Jack, aka Group of Gamers 194, is my favorite because it's funny. Literally, anytime it's a Daryl, like especially with these 6 bonus episodes with so much Carol and Daryl, he's not the biggest fan, especially of Carol and Daryl. And every time he come in my life, I'll be like, "Hey, go Jack, he ready to talk his shit? Go ahead." It's so funny. Every time. So
I met him because of that, because there's obviously not a lot of us that like aren't fans of Daryl, and it was specifically Daryl that like brought us together, and like we started talking and like we shared a lot of the same opinions, and I actually made a video with him. It was like an hour long, and then he had one that was an hour long explaining why we don't like the character, and it was
I still need to go watch those. He told me to go watch them, and I keep forgetting.
They're so much fun, but it was so much fun. I like to talk to him too because he is a huge Negan stan, and I mean I'm always gaining stuff from him. And I think that like I've learned that when Princess was coming into the show, that like Negan stans and Princess stans are like,
y'all are having a moment.
Yeah, like we're like 2 sides of the same coin, because loud, bold, just opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I've gotten to meet some new people that's like really dope.
That's so.
Well,
funny.
I don't see Princess as the type to bash in people's head with a baseball bat.
No, she uses her fist instead.
Yeah,
exactly.
Give her time. Give her time.
She handled hers. Princess. Just that with that episode, that she got just as much depth as any of our other faves. Love it.
Man, there's some things coming up in the comics for you. I'm so excited because I feel like you're gonna be like, yes, Princess.
I'm scared.
You're so close though.
I know. I hope there aren't any more deaths that I can't get over, because I'm still not over Hurst and Glenn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's none.
I'll never get over it. For Jack,
I think Carl
is there too. Carl was my baby.
The last significant character they killed off, really, I think, wasn't that Sadiq? That was the last significant one.
I really liked Sadiq.
Yeah, he was a good guy, and suddenly, Dante turned out. I didn't like Dante from the start. Just there's something about him rubbed me wrong, which could be yeah, that could be a tribute to the guy's acting, that he just, was this jokey guy who just rubbed you wrong, and that was exactly what he was trying to do.
Exactly.
But yeah, I didn't like him from the start, and for him to, I'm not approving of Father Gabe's, new, Wrath of God phase. But
act now, ask questions later.
yeah, but I do appreciate what he did to Dante. That was well deserved.
Oh yeah,
and
everybody always laughs at me so much because Father Gabriel is probably my all-time least favorite character. Like I physically can't with this man. So I just like the fact that he tried. What he do try. We know he was a bitch when we first met him, but he really do be trying. He fuck up a lot, but he really be trying. He don't mean no harm. So he's okay right now. I can't with that man. They always, and I never hear anybody say anything like that but me. I feel like I'm the conductor of the Gabriel hate train. Like I'm
on there. I'm on that train with you. He's pretty low on my list too. So
I can't.
I hated him to start. I just absolutely hated him to start with. But I think around the whole reading a Bible verse and shooting a guy in the face, I kind of came around a little bit. He's definitely not my favorite. But it's not like I'm like, oh my God, this guy is talking again.
Every time I see him, I'm like, how is he with Rosita? Can we please talk about that? And where is Christian? We haven't seen her in 10 years.
I think she was she still filming?
I don't know. People were telling me that she was done, but I don't know.
No, she was filming during like 15 and 16, but was she filming during the bonus things? I don't know.
Well, she's also doing Selena now too, so she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when her filming picked back up. When it comes to Father Gabriel and Rosita, I know that like here's where I'm opposite. I like them, but it's because I remember whenever Rosita was at her lowest, and she like took that shot at Negan, and she was just like down and out, and I was like genuinely so frustrated with her. And it was sitting at that pew with Father Gabriel where she found value. So like I can see where it came from because he did make a connection with her. I just wish they would have shown it more, because without showing a little bit more of like, how that started. It
literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was like, wait,
but she also ran through Sadiq beforehand. Didn't she have a few others?
There's a bonus episode we could probably get into if people are listening, just saying.
Yeah. She was getting hers. That's my girl though. I love Rosita. I just looked up one day and they were kissing and I'm like, ew, I don't even like him. What about Sadiq? I was like, but I liked how her and Sadiq were still cool. They were co-parenting. It was great, but Dante wasn't having it, obviously.
I think that while Sadiq and her were adorable, I think that they were both struggling with their own stuff so much. And maybe it just wasn't the right time. Like maybe
the wrong time.
Like, because he was dealing with so much after seeing what he did. I don't know. And like, obviously Rosita has like lost so much. And like, even just like, I go back to like the lineup so often because like, can you imagine seeing that? Like, even if you're not attached to like in a relationship with these characters, like, can you imagine seeing that? Like, yeah.
Did you see how she acted when Abraham said, I thought you were the last woman on earth? She literally lost it. And then to see him get beat, stop it.
I was wanting to slap him when he said that to her.
I don't even like the word lineup.
Yeah, he was a dick.
Yeah, I don't even like the word lineup.
Renee says, I'm wondering if the water tower is going to come into play. Marco says that he hates Gabriel as well. So you got another Gabriel later. Deborah says Sadiq's death was sad and I miss him. And she thinks Gabe will die next, so you should be very happy, Michonne.
I honestly will laugh. I'm sorry.
I have a problem with The Walking Dead and teasing water towers around Father Gabriel multiple times. 15 was titled The Tower. He talked about going to look out on a water tower, and now he's going to a water. Can you just like leave me alone?
And you're like, are you just nodding to the comics, or are you actually going to kill him?
I know.
I need closure.
It better come into play. It better come into play.
Well,
when I was
I don't mind him dying because I think that it probably will happen. I feel like that's going to be a thing that comes into play. I think he's going to take a later comic death that you haven't seen yet.
Mhm.
But
Uh-oh.
I just feel like he's worth more than like breaking his leg on a water tower.
At this point, yes, that would have made sense only for early Gabriel. Now it doesn't really make sense.
But like now, like I would just be so disappointed.
When I was reading the comics, I was thinking about you and I screamed because Gabriel in the comics, he makes so much more sense to me in the show after reading through Gabriel to his death in the comics. He can't do nothing right. He tries so hard. All you had to do was go up there and tell us when the Whisperers were coming. You didn't do nothing. You tried to go down the stairs and you fucking tripped. Get your leg caught, break your leg, you're hanging upside down. And oh, I'm so sorry. Spoiler alert. I am so sorry to the people who read the comics. I'm sorry. And Beta just comes and ends your life and keeps walking, and then you get eaten.
And then she continues with the spoilers.
No, I
Sorry about the spoilers, but let me continue.
I mean, the comics have been completed for a while, so y'all had your chance, you know. So.
That is true. I'm sorry. Never come watch me because I just talk. I'm sorry. Usually I say, wait, I'm about to say something about the comics, and then I'll say it. But yeah, my mods guard me pretty good in my lives. When people will say shit, delete, block, delete. You're not spoiling her, block, delete.
That's awesome.
Phyllis also thinks that Gabriel will die in season 11. So, yeah, I would say that we should have a Deadpool on who's going to die in season 11.
We're at the point in the show.
And do odds.
We're at the point in the show where I'm just looking at everybody that's alive after 10, 11 years. And I'm like, who's going to die now? Like, what? Who's going to die?
Not Carol and Daryl.
I know, they'll be fine.
All of my favorite people are alive out of my top 4, except Glenn. Rick, Michonne, and Daryl are still alive and kicking. Wow.
I kind of feel like Aaron might get Rick's death in the comics. I haven't gotten that far into the comics, but I just from the way that they have it lined up, that he's kind of doing the Rick storyline, as far as I know. I
have feelings about season 11 and Commonwealth.
See, I just spoiled somebody. I'm sorry. I just spoiled somebody, and now I got spoiled. I didn't know Rick died in the comics.
Oops, sorry.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
Instant karma.
Literally. You saw it here live in action. It's okay.
Oh, I'm excited.
My bad.
I'm not really into comic Rick.
I didn't get there. I just know it happened.
Okay.
So.
I'm not into comic Rick as much as I am with Andy. Like, if they would have killed Andy.
I just got to the governor stuff, so
you just
I'm pretty behind, but
the comics are gonna drag you through the mud.
Yeah, I when I read the comics, I'm probably gonna skip that whole thing because I don't want to.
Yeah, you're David Morrissey. We're TV governor over here because that man over there.
Yeah, I am not the. I would say that, and why is his name escaping me? Danny Trejo would be the perfect comic book governor.
100%. I want to see that so bad now.
Even the face 100%. Texture. Like, did y'all make the character after him?
Yep.
Oh my God, yes.
I actually, when I interviewed him, I actually mentioned, you look, if they had gone in the comic direction with the show, you would have been perfect for the governor on The Walking Dead.
If they would have gone with the comic direction for the show, it would be canceled with the governor.
Well, it would be on HBO. If it was the comic book version.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still not over not being able to say fuck, but you can kill children, murder children. Like, it makes sense.
Why?
I was watching a movie. When did Money Talks come out? Was it late 90s?
90s and sometime in the 90s. I know that.
I've seen that movie 10 million times. But me watching Walking Dead now, not Chris Tucker, but the reporter, he was like, you can't say fuck on television. I'm like, damn, that's still true. I was like, damn. I just rewatched it for the millionth time today. And when he told him that in the beginning, I was like, damn, Walking Dead, we still can't say that. There will be so many Negan fucks from the comics.
Oh my God.
The show. It would be.
Should I break this one out?
Girl.
Or is this not acceptable for here?
Girl, all of the Negan.
We're good. We're past the 30-second limit on swearing. The YouTube rule and such. But I mean, I like how sci-fi shows get away with doing it because, like, Battlestar Galactica just invented their own word for fuck, frack. And, you know, it sounds so similar, but they're like, oh, I see you're fracking this person over here, God damn it. You know, it's like awesome that they do stuff like that. And even Farscape, they had Frel, you know, so, you know, you're Frelling kidding me? You know, so it's like, you know, that's why sci-fi helps out. But
I did not know that. But honestly, that really gets the job done still. There's nothing like a good fuck. Nothing. That word can apply to anything.
Have you...
Am I frozen?
No, I think you froze.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you ask us something, Kyle? Because you kind of froze there for a second.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Am I back? Am I back?
You are.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a Netflix called The History of Swear Words, and they actually do all the major swear words. First one that they covered was so. That's
I need to go see that.
Me too.
I need to go
and it's
universal.
Of course, is the one who's doing. So you know you got to watch. It's very interesting watching him just go. Fuck! Yeah, definitely recommend that.
I need to go.
So we're running low on time. What are we thinking about next episode?
I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait.
Jeffrey and Hillary. Oh, it's gonna be great. Yeah. Jeffrey has been wanting a little Negan backstory forever.
I've been wanting for like since he's been on the show.
Right? It's going to be good regardless. We know Jeffrey is going to bring it, but the fact that they got his real life wife, this chemistry.
Yes.
Oh my God. This chemistry. It's about to be so. I might run through Here's Negan one more time real quick.
I love that that I know you don't like Negan as the character, but I love that you're so pumped for this episode. I love it.
Negan is literally the only villain I've never wanted to die. The only one. Absolutely love Samantha. What she did with Alpha in that time, I will never 100%. Literally insane. Nothing like her as a person. It is Ryan Hurst. We ain't gonna even talk about him because see, he a whole nother beast.
Literally. I loved his passion for Beta so much. Like he picked out his costume on purpose so that like tall people could have a cosplay. And hearing about Beta is just adorable. I just absolutely love him.
He is a very, very large man.
Yes.
Phyllis says that she hates Negan, but she's sure it will be a great episode.
And I'm the number one Glenn fan saying I love Negan. It still hurts though.
It's always gonna hurt. It's never gonna go away.
Even people who aren't into Glenn, like I don't remember what episode was that. It's not the episode when Negan stumbled upon the lineup area, but it was a moment we were talking about Glenn. It was very recently. Everybody was like, "Oh hell no, not the like." People who aren't even the biggest Glenn fans are like, ugh. Every time they bring up Glenn, it's like, yeah, that was a rough day.
That was an eye-popping episode.
Pun intended. Ooh.
Well played.
Pun totally intended.
They will never hurt me like that again.
David Cosper says he's going to reread the Here's Negan graphic novel this week. So you're not the only one.
I will too. That sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Literally an hour before it come on, I'm going to skim through it real fast and be like, okay, make sure I'm retaining all this because I need to see what they pull from. This will be the only time that I would have read something before I seen it in the show.
Same.
The only thing.
Oh, and I know that this isn't Walking Dead related, but Steven Yeun in Invincible.
I haven't watched it yet. Girl, I'm going to watch it.
So good. And in the first episode, you're going to get to see or hear, you're going to get to hear Ross, Lenny James,
in it too?
Lauren. there's seven Walking Dead actors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So it's gonna be like the Mist in a way, then basically.
I was gonna bring it up earlier, but I was like, should I bring it up? I'm gonna post reactions to Invincible.
Oh my god, I posted mine, and I just adore it. And like, I haven't read the comic series. I'm going into this one blind, and I'm not gonna read them, which is like such a different feel for me. But yeah, oh my gosh, incredible! I'm so happy. Like, I feel like a proud mom listening.
Everything that man do, I'm right on board. He doing what? All right, I'm going to see it.
Yeah,
he never disappoints. So good. I sit there and watch interviews like.
Have you seen the new trailer for The Unholy with JDM?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yep.
No.
Coming. How messed
really
up
good.
is
Look
it
up
that they're coming out on Good Friday? Though? Like, that was the thing that I noticed. Like, coming out on the holiest day of the year. I'm like,
what
okay.
Are they playing it on? What are they playing it on?
Yeah. What's it on?
Oh.
Because I heard about it.
I have to double check.
Is it on Prime?
I want to say it's Prime, but I'm not. It might be HBO Max. I'm one of the two, I think.
How do you even get HBO? Do you go to hbomax.com and subscribe?
Yeah, it's a subscription.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks so good though. When I'm watching it, he's like investigating supernatural stuff. I'm like, it's fucking John Winchester all over again.
Just saying.
Yeah, where's Sam and Dean?
Right.
Where's Dad?
The actors were very good on The Walking Dead when they just pull you into everything they do. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a few of them. Like, I need to see that. Is the movie called Penguin Bloom? What is it called? The movie Andy just did, the thing he did. What is it called? Something Bloom? What is it called? I can't think of the name of it right now. Is it Penguin? I need to Google it.
I don't know. I don't follow that guy. I need kind of irritated me.
No, I feel like that with Lenny James. I'm just like, I will follow you to the end of the earth. I'll watch. What do I have to buy? I'll buy it.
First of all, Lenny James is one of the greatest actors I've ever watched in my life. That man is insane.
Yeah, I was making my top 10 list because I was going to make a video on my channel about like what my top 10s were for like the entire show. And I was just like, okay, this is going to be weird because I don't have some of the big ones in here, but I think Lenny James is in all of these.
Exactly. That says something. It's called Penguin Bloom. Yeah, it's called Penguin Bloom. I need to go watch that.
When Carl McKinnon was doing his scene with Lenny James, when he was still on The Walking Dead, while they were both still on The Walking Dead,
right?
He was just like, please, Lenny, don't steal my scene without even saying a word. Because that man is such an actor. He's just like, he looks at you and he paces and it's like, oh my God, he just said like volumes right there. So
yeah.
Denai, Andy, and Norman are so good at that too. They don't even have to say anything. And Daryl this is the most he's ever talked in his entire life. We know he's not the biggest talker. So it's like they are insane. They are insane. Samantha, Ryan.
Well, I have to say that when Maze was on the thing, that acting was just like, oh my God. Robert Patrick was just amazing in that episode, and I was just like,
two different characters as well. So
that man literally said 5 words as his brother, and you felt his pain through. You know exactly what happened, and he said like 5 words.
Man, I was writing my list, and I like wrote down 20, and one more was on there, and it was getting down. Like I was marking some out to get to 10. I was like, I don't want to mark this one out. I don't want to mark this. Oh, this is painful. Marks out one more.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a list of 20. Do 2 videos. My top 10. My next top 10.
Here's 11 through 20.
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've never failed us with the casting.
Oh, never.
I even think what's his name? Who played the guy who tried to kill Maggie? You know,
the
I'm
big
talking
dude
about.
that was looking like he was in Call of Duty.
Earl?
No. The guy who used to run Hilltop.
Yeah,
Earl.
Gregory.
Oh,
Gregory.
Oh, ew. I hated Gregory. Scum. Garbage.
But
Trash.
that was the point.
Exactly.
That was the point.
He did a good job.
He played it so well. He played
Yes.
Scum so well.
Yes, he played hot garbage.
We can't forget Jared here. Savior Jared. Kill Benjamin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Morgan pulls him through.
Blondie.
Watches him be eaten.
Was it Blondie? Which Savior? I don't remember. Was it the Savior with the long blonde hair?
Yeah. He had long hair.
Yeah, he had long hair.
What's funny is at Walker Stalker Atlanta, they were doing a stage reading, a script reading on stage, and he played Jesus. Because I guess he had the look. And I played Eugene, so it was quite interesting for me to be Eugene on that stage. And I walk up, and the guy who was playing Rick thought I was all scared because I was walking all stiff, and it's like, no, I'm just in character, man. So
I love Josh as Eugene and doing his voice, but when he started talking fast, I can't understand shit he's saying. Like when he was talking to Princess in the train car, I was like, ear hustling. I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, just remember that really wasn't him either. So
exactly, he was and then he was trying to whisper, and his mouth wasn't even open up. What are you doing? I couldn't understand.
What are you doing, Stephanie? I'm a good character, and if this is going to lead me to Stephanie, this is going to be, and we have to be on the down low. And yeah.
And he uses words not everyone else uses, and then he's talking fast. He's trying to whisper, his mouth closed, he's gritting his teeth. I was struggling.
Which, kudos to Princess's imagination for imagining him that well. He must have made quite the impression.
I honestly wouldn't mind Princess and Ezekiel as a couple. I wouldn't mind that at all. Don't say nothing.
Until he dies.
No, I said that, I've been, obviously I love King Ezekiel and I love Princess. They're like my two favorites. And whenever King Ezekiel outlived the Pike death, I was like, is he going to meet Princess? Like, is this going to be a moment for me? Am I finally going to get that? And just the fact that, like, he's so down and the first time he sees Princess, he smiles. I was just like, I was sold like 2 years before that, but like, if that happens, I'm like, I'm good. Yeah.
I just can't wait for Princess to be like, they bring her back to the community and someone says, hey, King Ezekiel.
I was literally about to say
she'd
that.
be like,
yeah. Like, wait a minute.
Would be really interesting though would be Negan and Carol. That'd be an interesting pair if those two got together.
And I know Ezekiel was already over being king when a lot of his people got killed in All Out War.
When Shiva got killed.
Yeah. Shiva was the final straw. It really was the straw that broke. We're not going to talk about that because don't even get me started on them killing
Get me crying over a CGI fucking tiger.
Right? Please don't get me started on them killing the animals because that is their pride and joy. But I was mad and shocked and sad. I am Ezekiel. Why didn't you put the king in front, sir? Oh my goodness, when he introduced himself, I'm like, why didn't you?
I think he kind of got some warning glances from his friends because they were like, if you say you're King Ezekiel, she's going to be like,
so you're old and pretentious?
Making fun of me? That I'm a princess? You're trying to outrank me? What are you doing?
I really want her to make it back to Alexandria.
I'll say that I find it interesting that in her hallucination of all of these characters, King Ezekiel did sound an awful lot like King Ezekiel and not just Ezekiel. So I think that like she gets their vibe and she like gets them as people. It's just, I think it's a bit more amplified because of the ADHD. I have ADHD and everything is just like, it can be here, but it's going to be like way up here for me.
And Princess is very emotionally intelligent. She is very. How has she survived? How long has she been by herself? That's what I want to know.
Long time. I love what Kari said on Talking Dead, that they've only been together like a week, but it's like the week you spend at summer camp and you're like, these are my best friends forever. And like, I don't know what I'm going to do without them. And I think that's adorable.
They're literally, that is a lifetime in apocalypse years.
It is.
You're literally like this. You're all each other has. Time is like sped up when it comes to knowing somebody in the apocalypse. Everything is sped up. The kids grow up fast. You know people fast. You die fast. Everything is just fast.
Yeah.
I love the fact that though we were supposed to talk about the Diverged, and we did talk about it, we started talking about all these other episodes. So that tells me something. You may have appreciated this episode, but you didn't appreciate it that much.
I told you all of my favorite parts. It was nice to see two of my all-time favorite characters do something other than fight for their life. Like, yes, they're still people. They're still people. They still have problems. She was going to fucking end herself. And now she's just like, well, I'm here. So what am I going to do now? This is very awkward because I didn't see my life past this moment. So thank you to, what is her name? Why can
Lydia?
Angela Kang.
As I have Cassidy McClincy. How can I remember Cassidy McClincy but not Lydia? Like what? And Lydia in the comics, she got on my nerve.
Don't worry about it. Because I remember last time we talked about Lydia, I can remember her name either. I kept wanting to call her Judith, and I knew that wasn't right. So.
And she's such a she was very prominent in the show. I didn't like how she was doing Carl in the comics though. Like it was. I'm
just confused about where she's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
What? How is she gonna be involved in everything from this point?
We'll have to find out.
Is she just gonna fall back?
Like I said before, though, I would love to see Carol bring her on as like her little mini me person, because I think that she would survive with Carol.
I do understand that in the comics, Negan after the Whisperer War kind of goes off and leaves because he's still kind of a pariah. So I wouldn't mind seeing Negan and Lydia go off to be
I can see Negan and Lydia because she's most comfortable with Negan. She's most comfortable with Negan. Everybody cover up your ears. This is about to be a comic book spoiler. But I just finished the part where Negan broke Lucille. Oh my God. You know how hard you have to hit somebody to break a solid wooden bat. Oh my God. I acted a fool. Did you see that live?
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that one.
Oh, first of all, and on the show, I think anybody that watched me knows this. I literally never want to see Lucille again. Just so y'all know, I never.
He's digging her up. He's digging her up in the preview.
I never want to see Lucille again in present tense. May she be gone for all eternity.
Get ready. That's all I have to say. Get ready. I
never want to see that object again. But I was shocked that happened in the comics because I had no clue.
Whenever I went onto your channel and I saw like all the chapters that you reacted to, I was like, oh my gosh, she gets the death of Lucille. She gets the death of Gabriel.
His wife literally died again to him. He was distraught.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was really sad that they didn't adapt into the show, because they adapted so much into the Whispers, and that just would have been like cherry on top. People
who are impatient and had already read the comics, and they were trying to figure out, they were mad because the Whisperer War was so long. When I read it, I was like, damn, wait, that's it? Wait, Negan killed her already? I didn't even know Negan killed Alpha in the comics. I was like, wait. It happened so fast.
Yeah, it was the structure was a bit different, because like you have these big main deaths at like the hands of all of them with the Pikes, obviously, but then the real main destruction is Beta.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's not the same case in the show. Like 10/16, I went into like thinking like, oh man, like we're gonna get this big character death, and then like there was nothing, and I was like, what?
Girl. There's not many things I would change different about the show other than Glenn being alive. So, and Carl, because I'm still hurt about that. Why y'all do Chandler like that?
That was just dirty. 100%.
Chandler should have survived the entire apocalypse. It's fine.
Yep.
Anyway,
Lucille has appeared. I didn't even see that. Oh my.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just wanted to introduce you to my new friend, Lucille.
She likes blood, lots of it.
Yep.
He's a vampire bat.
The vampire bat.
We saw a bit of how sick Negan was remember when he was dousing Lucille in the Walker blood during all that war. Fucking disgusting. Disgusting.
And there's a cat on my lap, in case you're wondering what that is.
Want to see more? Show the cat.
Right, I love Cass. I'm curious about how the Reapers are gonna play in as villains in the show. We've had so many different types of villains, and they've all been insane, iconic, legendary, unforgettable. Even the Clammers, who were there for like 5 minutes, we will never forget them.
They did that with the wolf too, didn't they? They were like only there for like a hot second, and then nothing really came of them.
They were there for 2 seconds.
Well, they helped clean out some of the people in Alexandria. Some of the idiots who didn't know what they were doing. So
in the show and in the comics as well, I am not a fan of the original Alexandrians. Aaron is my all-time favorite Alexandrian. All-time favorite.
I love Aaron.
I love that man so much. He really does look like
so underrated, but we've talked about that before.
Yeah, he is.
Every time people talk, he looks just like comic book Rick. Like Ross.
Yeah, he does. Like he does.
Beard and all. It is insane. Yeah. I don't know. I still don't even know if the Commonwealth are villains or not. But judging by the way they did Princess, I'm like, oh my God. Very forceful, rude, straight to the point. I could get that, but it was the backhanding her for me. That was
a little uncalled for.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so you're not just questioning people. Okay, you kidnapped them. We've done that. You know, it's crazy. You know, you're in a post-apocalyptic world when kidnapping is normal. It's normal to just take someone and just question them against their will. But the stripping her naked and hitting her.
Nope.
Yeah, that was
draw the line.
I literally screamed. Like, I couldn't believe that she was ass naked in front of them. I couldn't believe. I was like, oh my God. Like, she's just not even a person.
And then he had the nerve to call her a bitch after she just got stripped naked and tossed into a train car and abused. Like, sir, we do not want to answer your question.
She's supposed to be like, yes, my name is Princess. I'm from this place. We've been, I don't know how old I am. We've been in the apocalypse for what did you want her to be, sir? I don't know. So I'm excited about the Commonwealth because I don't know if they're villains or not, but they are very mean. And I don't know.
I mean, to our people, they're clearly villains. So
true. The only people that I know we have coming are the Reapers in the Commonwealth in season 11. I know of nothing.
I'm curious to see as well because they've been doing little teasers for season 11 with each episode, like 3-second teasers, and some of them are just like spot on comic moments, and like one just made me like fall out of my chair, and then like some other ones I'm like, that's a lot different. Like I don't know. They obviously have to go a much different route because all these characters that are mains in Commonwealth and comics are not there in the show. So it could be totally different. But obviously Mercer and one other thing that I can't talk about because you haven't read it yet will stay the same.
Every time I pick up the comics to read and I see Mercer on the cover of Compendium 4, I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm almost done with the comics. Who is this man? And why does he look like a superhero?
Because he is.
On that note, we are
the boys or like Marvel's superhero. That's my question.
We are majorly into overtime here. I'm afraid. So we have Deborah says she can't wait for Fear to start again.
Yes.
Barbara did confirm Penguin Bloom was Andy's movie.
I'm happy Fear got good again in season 6 because season 5 was garbage.
Renee says, thanks for this again. Y'all are great. See you next time. And yeah, we gotta go. It's time's up.
Be on next week because we finna be acting a fool for Jeffrey.
Next weekend should be an interesting discussion after that Negan episode. And so we may even see if we can bring Johnny back and maybe even have a couple extra people. We'll see, because it is going to be something. And it'll probably go into overtime. I'm going to call it now. So, all right, everyone out there, thank you for watching. We will be back next week to talk about Here's Negan. And don't forget this weekend, again, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5. You can watch the panel through Wizard World. Go to wizardworld.com for information and to sign up. Thanks to Wizard World for having us. Thanks for you guys for being here. And thanks for you guys for watching. See you next time. Governor and his crew out.
This is John Glover, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Lionel Luther recommends it. Have some fun. Follow your fandom.